This is the second incident after Sandesh Khali where a crime against a woman has shocked the nation. Joining us now live from Kolkata is the Governor of West Bengal, Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose. Dr. Bose, thank you very much for taking out time and joining us in this crusade for justice for Abhaya. I want to start by getting you to talk about what's been going through your head. Forget being governor, a senior political figure, a constitutional authority, just as a human being. A young trainee doctor raped in what was supposed to be the safe confines of a government hospital, which is her workspace, which is where she should be as safe as possible in a city which is meant to be one of the safest cities for women in the country. Just as a human being, what's been going through your head over the past several days? Dr. Ananda Bose, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Dr. Bose, I want to start this conversation by getting you to talk about, how you see this brutal rape and murder of young Abhaya, trainee doctor at a government hospital in Kolkata, in what is supposed to be one of the safest cities in the country for women. What have you, forget being a constitutional authority or governor, just as a human being first, what's been going through your head and your heart as you've been looking at the incidents over the past several days?
I see the incident as gruesome, most unkindest cut of all, something which no civilized society can tolerate. This is not the first time here. You said about Sandesh Khali. After Sandesh Khali, there has been disrobing of a woman in public. There has been instances of public flogging, yes, and the kangaroo court taking decisions. Most unfortunate is that the police did not act. The police did not prevent it. The police did not take action even after the incident. Even after this incident, there were attempts to cover it up, to conceal, to destroy the evidence. And even after this, even after the intervention of the Honorable High Court, which ordered CBI inquiry, on 14th, a group of marauders rushed into the hospital, destroyed everything. When I went there after the incident, immediately after the incident in the early morning, the nurses told me with tears in their eyes, they said the goons who came at night, they shouted at the nurses and said, "You will be disrobed. You will be raped in public. There is nobody to question." There is nobody to question. That is a fear which is gripping Bengal society now. A government which does not act when action is called for. What the people get is not action but an alibi for inaction. There is a growing feeling that these things are supported by the government. Whether it is right or wrong, that is a growing feeling which I got from the striking doctors, the nurses, when I visited the hospital.
One of the biggest questions at this moment is who was responsible for the post-midnight violence at the RG Kar Government College and Medical Center. So there have been different kinds of charges. You did your own preliminary fact-finding basis your ground investigation. What can you tell our viewers? Who do you think were the miscreants who attacked this hospital, its staff, smashed its premises in the dead of the night?
Though I share the apprehensions of the striking doctors and the nurses in the matter, as a governor, I should not venture into a conclusion to such matters which is under investigation. But there is a growing feeling that the police minister, the home minister of the state, who happens to be the chief minister, there is a growing feeling the police minister is playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And people know who is Mr. Hyde, who is Mr. Jekyll. This ambivalence by a government which is supposed to take strong action in the matter dilly-dallying with the instance, that is what is very worrisome as far as people are concerned.
How do you look at the cover-up by the Kolkata police? We've been seeing the commissioner saying that this is a motivated campaign against the West Bengal government. Do you think there's a reason for the commissioner to step down and for action to be taken against those officials from the Kolkata police who didn't do their job, who were part of what seems like a cover-up?
I can only say this much. As a former civil servant, the police have failed. The Calcutta police have failed miserably, not once but many times. It is incumbent upon the head of the police to take appropriate decision, or the authorities to make him see reason. I think the police failure cannot be attributed to the constables alone. The leader of the police force should own up the responsibility. It is said that an army led by a lion, army of sheep led by a lion, is much more effective than an army of lions led by a sheep. Here we have to decide whether this army of police is led by a sheep or a lion. That is for the public to decide. The public have already expressed their displeasure of the police. As governor, when I officially express my displeasure, as it is envisaged in the constitution, I have to do a lot of circumspection. I have made up my mind, but I do not want to disclose in the public domain right now.
So there have been reports that there was a larger scam taking place at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, that patients were being charged for admission, for services, that even though this was a government hospital, the principal was part of this scam. That's what the local doctors, the trainees have been alleging and telling us. He was, however, instead of being sacked immediately when this incident happened, he was sent to another plum posting, which he took on. What have you heard about the possibility of there being a larger malified activity going on at this government college and hospital? Have you heard about it? What can you tell us?
I have received a lot of written complaints and oral complaints. Complaints made by delegation after delegation which met me in those lines. I can only say RG Kar has become a school for scandal. Investigation is required into that. What we see appears to be tip of the iceberg. There is much more to it than meets the eye.
No, so in these complaints that have been made to you, can you tell us what else has been alleged? What is it that you think needs to be probed? Because there must be a frank conversation. Ultimately, an investigation will throw up whatever comes out of it. But what are the charges? What do you think needs to be probed? What do you think might have been going on according to the allegations you've received about the RG Kar Hospital?
The youngsters feel that this is done in connivance with the police and the government. They feel adequate security is not given to them. They feel there is connivance between the authorities and the underground in various malpractices that are going on there. Specific allegations I have brought to the notice of government for appropriate action. At this stage, I do not want to discuss it in public, but there are tremendous allegations made against the administration of the RG Kar Hospital and also government's complaints in what is happening there.
The police first arrested one person and said that, okay, the case, we are investigating everything else, but the main accused has been nabbed. Then questions were asked about the possibility of a gang rape. On the basis of the evidence that you've seen, the testimonies that you've heard and everyone you've spoken to, do you think the police is at fault for not initially probing the aspect, the angle of a gang rape? Is that likely in this case? Because the police seems to deny it.
Since the court has already intervened in that and given its order and is supervising it, I do not want to comment on details of that. But the possibility of gang rape is very much there.
You met the students were very angry, And naturally so, women in Kolkata, West Bengal, and even across the country very agitated about the lack of safety. As Governor of the state of West Bengal, what's your message to them?
Women are scandalized. Society is angered. Children are disappointed. They are agitated. What has happened is something which never happened. This does not bring credit to anybody down the line. There is governmental failure, police complicity. Whatever should not be there is there. This is a serious issue, a square issue squarely drawn, which has received national attention, national resentment. I am sure that the denouement will certainly be there.